I don't tell this story for pity, and I sure as hell don't want advice. I'm not trying to go viral. I'm telling it because I need someone to believe me, even just one person. I live in the kind of neighborhood where people wave but don't speak. Small yards, chain-link fences, satellite dishes clinging to crooked roofs like limpets. The house I rent is nothing special. 2 bedrooms, faded yellow siding, and a crawl space underneath just high enough to store tools. Maybe a Christmas tree if I ever got into the spirit. I never went under there. Not once. Why would I? It started with a smell. Have you ever smelled wet stone? Not like a garden after rain. I'm talking deep cave, stagnant water, something ancient. That's what it was. Cold and sharp. It drifted in through the vents, always at night, like the air was trying to tell me something. I figured maybe a pipe burst or an animal crawled under and died, something simple. But then the noises started. At first I thought it was the house settling, a few creaks here, a knock there, that'll just not. But then, around 2 a.m. one night, I heard something I can only describe as breathing. Not heavy, not panicked, just steady, measured, like someone was down there waiting. The next morning, I grabbed a flashlight and crouched by the side hatch. It hadn't been touched in years. The hinges were rusted, the wood swollen. I forced it open anyway. The flashlight barely cut through the gloom. The ground beneath the house was a patchwork of concrete slabs and dry soil, littered with leaves that couldn't possibly have gotten in there. I swept the beams side to side, holding my breath. Nothing. But as I turned to leave, I swear I saw something move. Just a shift deep in the dark, like someone rolling onto their side to face me. I slammed a hatch shut and told myself I imagined it. That's what we do, isn't it? We explain it away. But things got worse. The smell grew stronger, the breathing became more distinct, and then came the whispering. Not loud, never loud, just barely audible, right beneath the hum of the fridge or the whir of the ceiling fan. Always too quiet to understand, but just enough to make my skin crawl, like words meant only for the dead. I stopped sleeping, started locking my bedroom door like that would help. I even called pest control, convinced maybe it was a raccoon den or a nest of something worse. The guy they sent crawled under there with a GoPro clipped to his vest. He was under for maybe 2 minutes before he came scrambling back out, pale as wax. I asked him what he saw. He didn't answer. He just got on his truck and drove away. Didn't charge me, never returned my calls. That night, the whispering came closer, right beneath the floorboards. I sat in bed with my back to the wall listening. Something dragged its fingernails along the wooden beams under my feet, back and forth, long strokes, almost rhythmic, like it was thinking, plotting. A week later, I found the first note. It was folded neatly on the kitchen floor, right in front of the fridge. Old yellow paper, brittle around the edges. No footprints, no signs of forced entry. Just one sentence, written in a spidery black ink. Don't feed it. It remembers. I didn't eat that day. Couldn't. My appetite died the moment I read it. I started researching the house, old town records, real estate logs, anything I could get my hands on. Turns out the place sat vacant for nearly 8 years before I moved in. Previous tenants left mid-lease. No lawsuits, no complaints, just gone. Like they were running from something they couldn't explain. One night, I snapped. I couldn't take it anymore. The sounds, the notes,
the feeling of being watched from below. I grabbed my biggest flashlight, a baseball bat, and a bottle of bourbon I'd been saving for a good day that never came. I waited until 3 a.m., when the whispering was at its peak. Then I opened the hatch and crawled inside. The air was freezing. My breath puffed out in clouds. Something dripped steadily in the far corner. The light caught it, a dark smear across the concrete, like something had been dragged. The beam flickered. I kept going. The space stretched further than it should have. No way this crawl space was that big. It felt like the ground had sunk to make room. And then I saw him. Not a raccoon, not a squatter. A man. Naked, filthy, curled like a spider with limbs too long, skin like cracked leather. His eyes were wide open, milk white, but I knew he saw me. He didn't move, just crouched in the farthest corner, his head tilted too far sideways, like a dog hearing a sound it didn't understand. There was something in his mouth. Not teeth. Paper. He slowly pulled it out with his tongue, like a magician with a ribbon, and placed it on the dirt between us. Then he smiled. The note said, "You looked." I ran, hit my head on a beam, tore my palms open, scrambling out, slammed the hatch behind me, and dragged the fridge over it. I didn't care if I destroyed the floor. I haven't gone under there since, but I think about him every night because the whispering hasn't stopped. Worse, he's learned my name. The new notes say things like, "You brought me back. You're warmer than the others. You'll fit." And the breathing? It's not under the house anymore. It's inside the walls.